I'm Donna, I'm 28 years old. I'm from Cambridge and I'm a research scientist.
I'm Brian, I'm 65, I'm from Stanmore, Middlesex, and I'm an independent financial advisor.
I'm Jan, I'm 40 years old, I'm from Maidstone in Kent, and I'm a travel agent.
I'm Wendy and I'm 37. I'm from Saffron Walden and I'm a managing director.
I'm William, I'm 45, I'm from Prestwick in Scotland and I'm a shepherd.
I'm Emma, I'm 22, I'm from Peterborough and I'm an interactive sports coach.
I'm Joe, I'm 54, I'm from Chesley Street in County Durham and I'm a divisional director for a healthcare company.
Now the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £1,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that has been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Brian. Let's play The Weakest Link. First question is for £20. Start the clock. Brian, in travel, the Channel Tunnel physically connects the UK with which other European country?
Calais.
France. Jan, in food, the term bangers and mash refers to sausages with which vegetable?
Potatoes.
Correct. Wendy. In the military, what M is the name given to a soldier hired by the army of another country or by a private army?
Mercenary.
Correct. William. Which sport do Australians Leighton Hewitt and Pat Rafter play professionally?
Tennis.
Correct. Emma. In pop music, the ballad made famous by Stevie Wonder is entitled I Just Called to Say What?
I love you.
Correct. Joe. In the Christian calendar, what sort of feast is Easter, movable or immovable?
Movable.
Correct. Christian.
Bank.
In the 1983 film Educating Rita, which actor played Dr. Frank Bryant?
Dustin Hoffman.
Michael Caine. Lou. When referring to ID cards, for what does the letter I stand?
Identification.
Correct. Donna. In bedding, what name is given to the filled pad with a strong cover, often containing springs upon which the sleeper lies?
Mattress.
Correct. Brian. In cartoons, the protagonists of the long-running strip by Bill Watterson are Calvin and who?
Klein.
No, Hobbs. Jan. In the animal kingdom, what type of creatures are gurnards and guppies, birds or fish?
Fish.
Correct. Wendy. In UK politics during the 1990s, Neil Kinnock, Tony Blair and William Hague all received a salary from the state as leader of the what?
Labour Party.
Opposition. William. In fashion, what type of garment were Oxford bags which first became popular in the 20s?
Trousers.
Correct. Emma. In history, in which century was the Battle of Hastings fought?
11th.
Correct. Joe. Which island has a coat of arms featuring 3 conjoined legs?
Isle of Man.
Correct. Christian. What F can mean either the board over a shop front or the instrument board of a motor car?
Face.
Fascia. Lou. The bust, waist and hip measurements of a woman are often known as her vital what?
Measurements.
Statistics. Donna. In nature, what was the name given to the strongest hurricane to hit the Western Hemisphere in the 20th century? Harry or Gilbert?
Gilbert.
Correct. Brian. In liquid measures, how many pints are there in a quart?
4.
2. Jan. In which decade was the first independent radio station, LBC, launched in the UK?
60s.
70s. Wendy. In the animal kingdom, how many pairs of legs do spiders normally have?
4.
Correct. William. In UK geography, which of these West Country cities is furthest to the west, Bristol, Plymouth or Exeter?
Exeter.
Plymouth. Emma. In modern history, Gamal Abdul Nasser was the president of which country during the 1967 Six-Day War?
Korea.
Egypt. Joe. In food and drink, Ruby and Tawny are both varieties of which fortified wine?
Port.
Correct. Christian. What a disgraceful start. Out of a possible £1,000, you put into your bank an embarrassingly low £300. Who clearly is as thick as double cream? Who has done enough damage? One of you is about to leave with nothing.
A little bit unhappy with my effort.
Round 2, team, you've won £300 so far out of a possible 1,000. 8 players left. We are now taking 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Joe. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Joe. In the 1970s TV sitcom Dad's Army, which character was played by John Laurie, Private Fraser or Sergeant Wilson?
Private Fraser.
Correct. Christian, in which county is the Barbara Hepworth Museum and Sculpture Garden?
Berkshire.
Cornwall. Lou, which word is used in the UK for the season known in the United States as fall?
Autumn.
Correct. Donna. In science, what bee is the device first built by Alessandro Volta in 1800 by combining layers of silver or copper, zinc and blotting paper?
Blot.
Battery. Jan, which female British pop singer has acted as a goodwill ambassador for the United Nations Population Fund?
Jerry Halliwell.
Correct. Wendy, in 1966, the first safari park in England was established in the grounds of which house?
Longleat.
Correct. William, which Danish author of fairy tales wrote The Little Mermaid and Thumbelina?
Hans Christian Andersen.
Correct. Emma, which post-war American president has a wife named Barbara?
George Bush.
Correct. Joe.
Bank.
In TV, what is the name of the 2001 BBC series produced by Steven Spielberg that centres on a World War II US paratroop unit?
Brothers.
No. Band of Brothers. Christian, in sport, a regulation basketball hoop stands at what height, 10 feet or 12?
10.
Correct. Lou. What's the general name for the farm animals that congregate in flocks and are regularly dipped and shorn?
Sheep.
Correct. Donna. In history, what name was given to the 19th century English rioters who destroyed factory machinery?
Luddites.
Correct. Jan. What D is the name for the practice of male actors playing female characters such as pantomime dames in clothes meant for women?
Don't know.
No. Drag. Wendy, in cookery, which electrical kitchen appliance is used to heat food or liquid rapidly by passing high-frequency waves through it?
Microwave.
Correct. William, in which Indian city did Mother Teresa found the Missionaries of Charity?
Calcutta.
Correct. Emma, what colour leather are the seats in the House of Lords, red or blue?
Red.
Correct. Joe.
Bank.
As what is Pete Tong famous, an MP or a DJ?
A DJ.
Correct. Christian, in UK geography, the De Montfort Hall is the main concert venue of which Midland city?
Loughborough.
Leicester. Lou, in history, John Nash and Inigo Jones are most famous for their work in which field, architecture or music?
Architecture.
Correct. Donna, in medicine, the abbreviation CPR stands for cardiopulmonary what?
Respirator.
No. Resuscitation. Jan, in professional football, the home stadium of which Midlands club is called the City Ground?
Manchester City.
I'm a hub manager, Anne.
A what?
Hub manager.
Hub.
Hub. Yeah.
Can you spell that for us?
H-U-B.
H-U-B.
Yeah.
And what does being a hub manager involve?
You say it so nicely, Anne. I'm in charge of 16 people, and the hub is a huge area where parcels are sorted.
What's the point of the business?
It's so that people get different information and packages on time.
Oh, that must be a pretty unique parcel service. Why Donna?
Because I thought Donna hesitated quite a bit.
William, you're a shepherd.
I am.
What's the most interesting thing about sheep?
Well, if one goes, they all follow, so you just need to have one good one.
And how'd you pick a good one?
The one in the front. You can't pull the wool over your eyes, Anne.
How long did it take you to learn that?
Not very long, no, but 5, 6 years.
And what did you do for the first 5 years before you cottoned on?
Just, I followed them.
Why Donna?
She hesitated, and also the one she got wrong about the battery, I thought she could have got.
Jan, you're a travel agent.
Yes.
And if I said I wanted a canal holiday in the Midlands, would you send me to Manchester?
Quite possibly, yes, Anne.
You don't know the difference, do you? Why Donna?
Because she got at least 2 questions wrong.
Did you think she was the weakest link?
Yes.
Really? And if I told you she wasn't, who do you think was?
Christian?
No.
Not me.
Statistically, Jan was the worst player. However, Donna, the research scientist, who has never heard of the inventor of the battery,
Voted off the second round because I got a science question, a medical question wrong, and people that I work with are going to be watching. I think Christian will get voted off fairly soon because he has upset Anne and she's just going to make him feel more and more uncomfortable.
Round 3, team. Out of a possible £2,000, you have got a very unimpressive £600 in the bank. You're down to 7 players. We're taking another 10 seconds off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Lou. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Lou, in pop music, Harry Webb is the real name of which singer?
Elton John.
Cliff Richard. Jan. In the 20th century, which UK monarch was subsequently given the title Duke of Windsor?
Prince Philip.
Edward VIII. Wendy. In food, what N is a round of meat, usually lamb, veal or beef, often cut from a fillet?
Noisette.
Correct. William. According to tradition, in which month is the Yule log burnt?
December.
Correct. Emma. In the US TV comedy The Addams Family, what relation was Pugsley to Gomez?
Son.
Correct. Joe. In
Bank.
nature, the ocelot belongs to which family of animals, cats or dogs?
Cat.
Correct. Christian. The author of the novels The Talented Mr. Ripley and Strangers on a Train is Patricia who?
Routledge.
Highsmith. Lou. In sport, which Dutch player was voted European Footballer of the Year 3 times in the 1970s?
Don't know.
No, Johan Cruyff. Jan. In children's television, the programme Ivy the Engine was set in which country of the UK?
Wales.
Correct. Wendy. In fashion, what is the first name of the sister of Gianni Versace, who took over the running of the Milanese fashion house in 1997?
Donatella.
Correct. William. In which city in the United States is the Smithsonian Institution?
New York.
Washington. Emma. In which 1994 film do characters played by John Travolta and Uma Thurman dance to the song You Never Can Tell?
Pulp Fiction.
Correct. Joe.
Bank.
In science, strong winds and heavy rain characterise what type of atmospheric pressure, high or low?
Low.
Correct. Christian. In theatre, the 2001 production The Play What I Wrote features a tribute act to which comedy duo?
Morecambe and Wise.
Correct. Lou. In which language did Aesop's fables first appear?
English.
Greek. Jan. In football, how many teams play in the quarter-finals of the European Cup?
8.
Correct. Wendy. In biology, what O is the diffusion of water across a selectively permeable membrane?
Osmosis.
Correct. William.
Blank.
In fashion, what is a Homburg?
It's a hat.
Correct. Emma. Which actress married film star Brad Pitt in July 2000?
Jennifer Aniston.
Correct. Joe.
Bank.
In literature, which author wrote the crime novels An Unsuitable Job for a Woman, Devices and Desires, and Original Sin?
I don't know.
P.D. James. Christian. In history, which English queen... Time's up, and you're rapidly going down the drain. You banked just £220. Who's as useless as an ashtray on a motorbike? A rubber beak on a woodpecker, or a chocolate?
Lou.
Lou.
Joe, remind me what you do.
I help people attain inch and weight loss permanently without hunger.
Well, you're not much of a shape, are you?
I was 3 stone heavier, Anne, before I started the programme.
Gosh. And how much more have you got to lose?
Probably about another stone.
Why, Lou?
She got 3 questions wrong out of the 3 questions asked, so I think she's possibly the weakest link.
Christian, you're no good at this game, are you?
That's not true. 50% on that one, Anne. Not bad.
You've only answered 2 questions correctly since you got here. Why, Lou?
I really didn't want to vote off Lou, but I don't think she could sustain any more of your rudeness, quite frankly.
Well, statistically, Lou was the worst player. She's the hub manager in the parcel centre, but she didn't deliver here.
The person I'd like to see off next is Joe. He knows everything, he's done everything. Oh, and I would love to see him off.
Round 14, £820 banked so far out of a possible 3,000. 6 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off your time. You now have only 2.5 minutes. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, that's Emma. Let's play Weakest Link. Start the clock. Emma, in which branch of the British Armed Services does a Field Marshal serve?
Don't know at all.
Army. Joe, in education, in which English town is the main campus of the University of Essex situated?
I don't know, Anne.
Colchester. Christian, which actor was the main voice behind the 1938 radio broadcast of War of the Worlds?
Pass.
Orson Welles. Jan, if you were lying on your front, which word would best describe you? Supine or prostrate?
Prostrate.
Correct. Wendy, in pop music, which female singer released the UK hit singles Feel So High, You Gotta Be and Life in the 1990s?
Britney Spears.
Desiree. William, in cookery, what tea is a modern-day electrical appliance used to cook slices of bread?
Toaster.
Correct. Emma, in history, which Thracian gladiator led a revolt against Rome in 73 BC?
Maximus.
Spartacus. Joe, in education, the London School of Economics and Political Science is usually abbreviated to which three initials?
LSE.
Correct. Christian, in geography, what G is a famous lake between Lombardy and Venetia in northern Italy?
Geneva.
Garda. Jan, in literature, William Makepeace were the first two names of which leading Victorian novelist?
Shakespeare.
Thackeray. Wendy, in architecture, which name is given to a long projecting beam fixed at only one end and often used in bridge construction? A cantilever or a yardarm?
Cantilever.
Correct. William, in astrology, which star sign falls between Sagittarius and Aquarius?
Capricorn.
Correct. Emma, which famous film star is the father of Michael Douglas?
Kirk Douglas.
Correct. Joe, in law, what S is a slang word of American origin for an unscrupulous and unprofessional lawyer?
Scoundrel.
Shyster. Christian, in road travel, in which decade were speed cameras introduced in the UK?
20th.
1990s. Jan, in the high street, a retailer whose main trade is the selling of writing implements, paper and office equipment is known as a what?
Stationer.
Correct. Wendy.
Bank.
In 1994, comedian and writer Ben Elton starred in a TV series called The Man from Where?
Auntie.
Correct. William, in which country is the town of Interlaken? Time's up. That was truly magnificent. £20 you won. Who's lost that knowing feeling? Whose downfall is imminent? It's time to...
They could have been very, very valuable to the team. When I got the opportunity to bank, which was only once in the whole of the time that I was there, I banked the most money for the team. I think Joe will certainly be the next person to go. I don't think the team will like him sucking up to Anne at all. Joe's got to go.
Round 5 team, your total is a pathetic £840 out of a possible 4,000. There are 5 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We start with the strongest link from the last round, that's Wendy. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Wendy, in fashion, what P is the name given to the narrow white lines woven into dark suit fabric?
Pinstripes.
Correct. William, which 1985 film starring Harrison Ford featured the Amish religious community?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Witness. Emma, in sport, the towns of Pontefract and Sedgefield are official venues for the racing of which animal?
Greyhound.
Horse. Joe, in whist and contract bridge, which is the lowest value card in each suit?
The 2.
Correct. Jan, what T is a ring, stone or other object engraved with supernatural characters worn to ward off evil or bring good fortune?
Tarot stone.
No. Talisman. Wendy, which language is spoken by a francophone?
French.
Correct. William, in the 1950s TV series, what was the name of the white-faced wonder horse who was a companion to Ricky North?
Champion.
Correct. Emma, in England, what S is a resort on the northwest coast where the first pleasure pier was built in 1859?
Scarborough.
Southport. Joe, which musical features the character Daddy Warbucks?
Annie.
Correct. Jan, in history, which war in the United States formally ended in 1865?
War of Independence.
No, the American Civil War. Wendy, in geography, with which country does Spain share its longest border?
France.
Portugal. William, in cookery, which part of the basil plant is used to flavour food?
The Leaves.
Correct, Emma. In TV, actor Paul McGann played the role of Percy Topliss in the 1986 drama entitled The Monocled what?
Professor?
Mutineer. Joe, which sport does the American Jack Nicklaus play professionally?
Golf.
Correct.
Bank.
Jan, in music, plain song is a monophonic chant with how many melodies?
2.
1. Wendy, in fashion, in which country was the designer Karl Lagerfeld born?
America.
Germany. William, in maths, which of the following is a prime number, 5 or 15?
5.
Correct, Emma.
Bank.
In the 1990 film Total Recall, which actor starred as the character Doug Quaid?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Correct, Joe. In history... Time's up! £40, having got rid of 4 apparently weaker links. Which cook is now spoiling your broth? Who's the bad apple turning the rest of you sour? Who has hood, or do you have a staff job?
No, freelance, son.
You charge by the hour?
Well, roughly, yeah.
Oh, do you? So I can hire you by the hour, can I?
Of course you can. You can always also have me as a shepherd if you wish.
And what do you do in the field sitting there with your flock?
Flock nose. No.
Why, Emma?
But I think she let the side down there.
Did you think she was the weakest link?
I did, yes.
Jan, why Emma?
Because she hesitated and she did get a few questions wrong.
Did you think she was the weakest link statistically?
Yes.
If it wasn't her, who do you think was?
Was it me?
Enough said. Jan was the worst player, but Emma, it's time for you to interact with the Walk of Shame.
I thought I was really strong in the previous round. That was a particularly bad one for me. Had some tricky questions, but I know I wasn't the weakest link, so shouldn't really have been voted off. I think I'd like to see Joe off next. He's slightly too sure of himself, I think, and maybe getting a bit cocky about the whole thing.
Round 16, and we struggle on out of a possible £5,000. You haven't even reached 1,000. 880 you have in the kitty. 4 of you left. We are cutting another 10 seconds from your time. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Joe. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Joe, in TV, which actor played the title role in the series Quincy?
I don't know, Anne.
Jack Klugman. Jan, in travel, Billy Who opened his first holiday camp at Skegness in 1936?
Butlin.
Correct. Wendy.
Bank.
In medicine, which part of the body does a chiropodist treat?
Back.
Feet. William. Actress Leslie Ash married which ex-Leeds United footballer?
Chapman.
Correct. Joe, in geography, the River Nile flows into which body of water?
It flows into the sea. The Dead Sea.
Mediterranean. Jan, in which century was the American President Abraham Lincoln born?
18th.
19th. Wendy. In which 1985 film did Michael J. Fox travel in time?
Back to the Future.
Correct. William. In telecommunications, which UK city has the dialing code 0161?
Manchester.
Correct. Joe. In cookery, French dressing is made of vinegar, herbs, and which other major ingredient?
Mustard.
No, olive oil. Jan. In a lawn tennis singles match, what is the score in a game if each player has won 2 of the first 4 points?
Juice.
30 all. Wendy. In the animal kingdom, the aardvark is native to which continent?
Africa.
Correct. William. In cartoons, what type of water bird is the Walt Disney character Donald?
Duck.
Correct.
Bank.
Joe. Which comedian was the star of the TV series Up Pompeii?
Frankie Howard.
Correct. Jan. According to the Bible, what was the name of the woman created from Adam's rib?
Eve.
Correct. Wendy. The area of Westminster Abbey where famous writers are buried is known as what corner?
Poets.
Correct. William. In football, for which country of the UK was TV sports presenter Bob Wilson an international goalkeeper?
England.
Scotland. Joe. In music, in which county was the English composer Benjamin Britten born?
Middlesex.
Suffolk. Jan. The 1986 novel by Margaret Atwood is entitled The Handmaid's what?
It's gone. Sorry.
Tail. Wendy. In maths, how many seconds are there in 5 minutes?
300.
Correct. William. What popular name? Time's up. You banked only £70. Who should now book themselves a ticket home? Whose telly isn't texting? Who's straying from the flock? Whose knowledge is too slim? It's
Or is the one about the dressing, but I should have known that one because I used to be a chef, and that's the one I should have certainly got right. I think probably Jan is going to get voted off next because she has been quite consistently wrong with a lot of her questions. She certainly hasn't banked any money.
Round 7, and you still haven't hit 4 figures. £950 in the kitty out of a possible 6,000. 3 of you left, another 10 seconds off the clock. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Wendy. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Wendy, in which remake of a 1960s TV detective series do Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer star?
Randall and Hopkirk,
Correct,
deceased.
William. In which popular pantomime do the characters Jack, Dame Trot and Daisy the Cow appear?
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Correct, Jan.
Bank.
Which 4-letter word means labyrinth?
Pond.
Maze. Wendy. In sport, which US city immediately preceded Sydney as host to the Summer Olympics?
Korea.
Atlanta. William. In language, if someone has been severely reprimanded, they are said to have been read the what act?
The Riot Act.
Correct, Jan. In the TV series Blackadder II, which actor played Lord Melchett?
Rowan Atkinson.
Stephen Fry. Wendy. In 1986, which businessman won the blue ribbon for the fastest surface crossing of the Atlantic?
Richard Branson.
Correct, William. Which word can be added to the words blood, grey and fox to give the names of 3 well-known breeds of dog?
Hound.
Correct, Jan.
Bank.
The American actor who starred in To Sir with Love and who received an honorary knighthood in 1974 is Sidney who?
Poitiers.
Correct, Wendy. In which British city is the National Exhibition Centre?
Birmingham.
Correct, William. In cookery, a North American relative of the sunflower with edible tubers is known as the Jerusalem what?
Artichoke.
Correct, Jan.
Bank.
In politics, what name is given to the box in which voting papers are deposited in a polling booth?
Voting box.
Ballot box. Wendy. In gymnastics, which animal gives its name to a piece of apparatus used for vaulting?
Horse.
Correct, William. In motoring, a common system of steering for cars is rack and what?
Pinion.
Correct, Jan.
Bank.
The US TV sitcom Frasier is a spin-off from which comedy series starring Ted Danson?
Cheers.
Correct, Wendy. The 1932 novel by Stella Gibbons is named after which farm?
Cold Comfort Farm.
Correct, William. Time's up. You won £290. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank, so potentially there's £3,000 to be won. The question is, who should you hang on to? Who should you get rid of? Are you decent enough to vote off?
Her general knowledge isn't as good. I think William's a much better player.
Round 8, team. You've won £1,240 out of a possible 7,000. Jan and William, 2 of you left. And this time you have 90 seconds. But whatever you win in this round will be trebled and added to your total to make up your final prize money. So £3,000 is at stake. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's William. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. William, in a standard game of darts, if a player is on 47 and throws a treble 9, what double must he throw to finish in 1 dart?
Double 10.
Correct, Jan. In the 1942 film There's One Born Every Minute, which famous actress made her screen debut aged 10?
Shirley Temple.
Elizabeth Taylor. William, the lotus flower is the national symbol of which Asian country?
Japan.
India. Jan, what's the best-selling copyrighted book in the world?
The Bible.
No, the Guinness Book of Records. William, in gambling, a one-armed bandit is also known as a what machine?
Slot machine.
Fruit, but I'll accept. Jan.
Bank.
What was the family relationship between composer George Gershwin and his lyricist Ira Gershwin?
Son.
No, brothers. William, in which European country are the cities of Alexandria and Bologna?
Italy.
Correct, Jan. Who is the novelist's sister of writer A.S. Byatt? Margaret Drabble. William, in which UK city is the Victoria and Albert Museum?
Manchester.
London. Jan, in food, which fruit is dried to make currants?
Prunes.
Grapes. William, in pop music, Ray Davies was the lead singer of which British group?
The Kinks.
Correct, Jan.
Bank.
What is the American term for what in the UK are called crisps?
Chips.
Correct. William, in music, the piece by the Sleepy Lagoon by Eric Coates is the theme for which long-running radio programme?
Desert Island Discs.
Correct, Jan.
Bank.
In which sport has Jacques Villeneuve been a world champion?
Racing driver.
Correct, William. The bright star Polaris was used in antiquity. Time's up. You won £90, which will treble and add to the winnings of the previous rounds. That means prize money today of £1,510. But only one of you can take that money away, so now you'll play against each other head to head. I'll ask alternate questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. It's as simple as that. So Jan and William for £1,510. Let's play the weakest link. William, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
The ladies first, please, Anne.
Jan, in the media, Conrad Black became chairman in 1987 of which British daily newspaper?
Daily Mail.
No, the correct answer is the Daily Telegraph. William, in fashion, what is the name of the short woolen coat, sometimes with a hood, fastened with toggles and made popular by the British Navy?
Duffel coat.
That is the correct answer. Jan, in Judaism, at which festival is matzo, made of unleavened bread, symbolically eaten?
Passover.
That is the correct answer. William, in May 1997, the new Labour government announced that Prime Minister's question time would be once weekly and last how long?
2 hours.
No, the correct answer is half an hour. Jan, in sport, after which native animal is the Australian Rugby Union team nicknamed?
Kiwi.
No, the correct answer is wallaby. William, which fictional detective is famous for the maxim, when you have excluded the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth?
Sherlock Holmes.
That is the correct answer. Jan, which long-running TV quiz show has been hosted by David Vine, David Coleman and Sue Barker?
A Question of Sport.
That is the correct answer. William, in pop music, the singers known as T-Boz, Left Eye and Chili make up which female US soul group?
Lady Marmalade.
No, the correct answer is TLC. At this stage you are level pegging. Jan to take the lead. Which word of Indian origin means a roofed gallery running along the front or side of a building, usually at ground level?
A terrace.
No, the correct answer is veranda. William, if you answer this question correctly, you've won. So for £1,510. In transport, what name is given by enthusiasts to motor cars built before the year 1905?
Veterans.
That is the correct answer. That means, William, you are today's strongest link. Can you go away with £1,510? Jan, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
I feel really pleased with myself, actually, that I got to the final. I never expected to get that far. I think I got through on the skin of my teeth on a couple of rounds.
I thought I'd done well.